We, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free.
Guess where this blonde is reporting live from tonight, baby? On location. Give me a B and no, not for boobs.
Oh.
Anybody?
No. Are we guessing?
Sure. Is it digital?
This is a guessing and betting kind of town.
Oh, you are in high rolling
Puppet
Vegas,
Girls,
baby.
Viva Las Vegas. Oh, look at Puppets. Oh, yeah, I'm taking that to the blackjack table. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
So I am here. I am riding on the coattails of Trump's $2.5 billion Bitcoin investment at the Bitcoin conference, baby. I just flew in literally today, and I'm here with you all because I wouldn't have it any other way, you know?
So let me ask you, Taylor, you're at the Bitcoin. I said, weird. I'm interviewing you in our show open.
You're See how that works?
Yeah. You're at the Bitcoin conference. The energy must be special this year, considering Trump is the first pro-crypto president, right? Are all the crypto bros excited?
They're excited. They're excited by a couple things I want to tell you, okay? Well, I'm a little spoiled because I was front row last year at the conference in Nashville when Trump actually spoke. Oh. So I was there YMCAing, God Bless America-ing, all up in that beat. That's right. Front row, guys. And he was the first ever president to speak at the conference. So tomorrow morning is JD Vance. Eric Trump is going to be speaking. But yes, the bros are broing. They're excited. But I'm going to tell you what else they're excited by and what got me excited. I show up, Bitcoin Barbie. I go to get my press pass.
Bitcoin Barbie.
I go to get my press pass, you know, and I'm doing what I do. Like, I have my Barbie attire. I just came off the plane fresh. I have a tight white top, no bra. Some of you know that's how I roll. So I have to say, what was so entertaining for me was to watch the Bitcoin bros. I wish that I had a third eye or a camera. Try not to look. You know those videos on Instagram?
That's a girl. That's
like
a girl.
But further, like even in
Boobcoin
groups, trying not to look at my boobs. It was literally the most entertaining thing.
But what do you expect, though?
Exactly.
I mean, what do you expect? You're walking around with no bra. You have boobs. What do you expect these dudes to do? They stare all day at charts, watching things go up, watching things go down, and Coke. And then here come the boobs.
Code.
I thought you said Coke. Okay, well, both.
And then they watch her. Then they look at to see you. They stare at your boobs, and something goes up and it goes down.
It goes back down.
It goes up and it goes down.
They're trading options in their pants.
I'm telling you, exactly. They're coding in some way, shape, or form. And I wish that I had a secret camera to watch them try not to look. I mean,
That sounds very dirty. You want to have a secret camera to watch guys watching you?
That's sexy.
Creepy.
I guess.
The puppet's picking up what I'm putting down.
I guess.
Not in a creepy way, but they have
Nancy
these videos
Mace
on
would
Instagram.
be happy with that.
Okay, they have these videos on Instagram where girls will be like at the gym looking hot, whatever. And
I've seen those videos. They
like,
do squats.
trying not to look. So entertaining.
With the yogurt pants on, they do the squats, and they're like, "Why are you looking at my butt?" Just because it's there.
You know, when you wear those shirts like that, I mean, even I'm with you. Even I can't stop looking. You know, and I got plastic eyes.
Right. But question, Taylor, do you like the attention? Because most guys don't want to look because they feel like creepy, but at the same time, you're like, hey, they're looking. So the question of the day, and all the guys want to know, all the guys, especially over on Pilled, they want to know, do you like the attention and does it matter if he's attractive or not? So if a hot crypto bro goes, oh, damn, look at them boobs. And because I'm doing my Elvis voice because we're in Texas. Not Texas, Las Vegas. Las Vegas.
City.
And so.
Wait, why is that so accurate?
Right, I'm good. I have a lot of talents.
I see.
So they're looking at your. So if an attractive crypto bro looks at the boobs, are you like, mm-hmm? And then if like a gremlin crypto senior walks around, with the little circle glasses and the pants up too high, maybe a little gun action going on. Men can have guns too. And then he's just doing. He's like, hey,
never mind.
Hey, look at the boobs, and then you're like, creep. Is there like a scale of people who are allowed to look at your boobs when you're wearing no bra?
When it comes to the Bitcoin conference, I will say this. Listen, Bitcoin's all about democratizing money,
currency,
exactly. And so I'm here to spread the love and the joy. I'm not
so
mad
your
about
boobs
it.
Currency?
They are.
He went there.
You can buy a lot with a nice rack.
Yeah, they cost a lot too, Puppet.
It's not that I need attention, but if I make some crypto bro techie smile, it makes me happy. It's like, I'm not just don't cross the line and be creepy and we're good, which most of the time, they can read a room. And my favorite is when they're trying not to look at my tits and I'm holding a convo with them all about crypto and what it is and represents. It's the best because they're trying so hard to concentrate
and they're trying to be so respectful by not looking.
Yes,
that just goes to show you their character.
It's sweet. I'm happy to make a tech bros day.
Because we all know in the back of their mind, they're going, what they're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to motorboat them sons of bitches.
If I ever
they want to be They want to be motorboating.
Well, we got lots more from Taylor at Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. And Las Vegas. Peanut butter and banana sandwiches on the buffet. So
Bitcoin Barbie, Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin.
Just don't take a poop. So, all right, we got lots more from Taylor at
Bitcoin, and I don't care.
At the Boob Coin Conference 2025.
This is the craziest shit I've seen thus far in Vegas, and that's saying something. Okay?
Well, that's what you get with Politically Uncensored. We're going to talk about J-Lo gyrations. We're going to talk about Shabuzi making country racist. It wasn't racist before, but it's racist now. And that and so much more. Plus, we have Alpha Warrior coming on the show later, and that's really exciting for all of us.
Totally.
But you got to be careful.
You're downplaying it, Dave. I was just going to say, you got me pregnant last time, I think. Metaphorically, he's going to get Puppet pregnant this time.
That's right, Puppet.
Your boxer briefs,
Hands on your manhole. Cover it up, baby. And all of that is coming up tonight on Politically Uncensored.
Free your mouth and your mind will follow. Speak your truth, don't wait for tomorrow. Words like rivers can carve through stone.
This place is insane.
Yeah, they did. She did it under oath. It's just becomes too much noise and it becomes
too
negative.
heavy to bear alone.
Deemed the Celebrity Whisperer by Playboy. 100%.
Write your fears on the back of the wind. Tear down the walls you were raised within. Chains of whispers rust and break. The cost of freedom is the noise you make.
Free speech in America.
Right into it here and talk about Shabuzi. And if you guys don't know who Shabuzi is, I really didn't know who he was until the Grammys or something. And apparently there was some other award show last night that nobody really gives a shit about, but some people watched it. And Shabuzi made headlines. And Shabuzi is the guy. What did he sing? He sings
Tell me up a tipsy.
Yeah, everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Puppet, why are you dead in the eyes?
Puppet.
Dance moves.
All right, there he goes.
I need your dance moves. Stat.
So he gets famous.
I don't know that. So I don't know that.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
It's like not my problem.
We don't. What? How does it go? We don't something.
Gonna whiskey.
Yeah.
This is country music, right?
But it's supposed to be. They call it country music. It's woke country. And this was the same time where Beyonce got the music artist. Anyway. Check out the narrative last night. And Claire Taylor, I have your clip too, but I want to set up the story with this.
Yes.
Here's the narrative that came out of what was the award show last night?
ACMs?
What is that?
No, American Country.
No, it was some other
something.
thing. Anyway, just check out the clip.
Country.
This award went to the Carter family, who basically invented country music.
Shabuzi is speaking out. While presenting the award for Favorite Country Duo or Group at the 2025 American Music Awards with Megan Moroney, the artist had a visible reaction when Megan read the teleprompter saying the Carter family, quote, basically invented country music.
Country music has been an important part of AMA history. The very first year of this show, the award for Favorite Male Country Artist went to the great Charlie Pride.
That same year, Favorite Female Artist went to Lynn Anderson, and this award went to the Carter family, who basically invented country music.
This year's AMA nominees in that category are very impressive and include a few of our friends.
Well, after his reaction caught attention on social media, Shaboozey addresses the incident on X, formerly Twitter, writing, "When you uncover the true history of country music, you find a story so powerful that it cannot be erased." Adding, "The real history of country music is about people coming together despite their differences, and embracing and celebrating the things that make us alike." Shaboozey's comments join an ongoing conversation that takes a look into the history of country music and the contribution of.
Really? Taylor, now country music is black music and the white people just appropriated it. What say you?
What say me is that, normally I drink whiskey on this show, and tonight I'm drinking my coffee like Shaboozey likes his country. Black with a little splash of white, baby. Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Something like that one.
Here's my take on this while you sip
I
your
liked that,
Starbucks.
Taylor. That was good.
Yeah. You guys could throw me. You guys always freaking throw me off. Here's the deal. It was the American Music Awards or something. Who cares?
Country.
Yes.
But okay, here's the deal. I'm not saying that blues music which originated in the South by a lot of black performers. I love blues and I love the black performers who perform blues. And I'm not suggesting that blues didn't inspire country and there was a lot of black origins in country music. But for the most part, for the entire time that Democrats allowed black people to sing, country music has been predominantly thought of as being a white Southerner thing. And there have been artists like Hootie, Darius Rucker and such, but they're not seen as mainstream.
Hootie would have never even been a country singer if he wasn't already popular with Hootie and the Blowfish.
But what I'm saying about this is this. I'm not suggesting that there isn't a black origin to country music. But why now? Beyonce didn't deserve Country Album of the Year.
No.
Shaboozey's song is pop country that most people hate. Most people hate Taylor Swift's pop country. If you love country, you don't like this new country. Yet you have Shaboozey acting like he's singing about the struggles on the farm. He's pop country. He's not a real country artist. For him to be like, don't disrespect the black origins of country. How about you put out an album that has black soul and it actually sounds like country, and then you could talk about the black origins of country. But instead, all you're doing is you're making a racial issue out of country music now, because you can't just let, what do they say? Let enough alone. What is the phrase?
Leave well enough alone.
Leave well enough alone. Puppet Taylor, come on, guys.
Okay, I'm not. My banjo playing panties are not as in a wad. I can't lie. I mean, guys, just because they're black means it's woke country?
No, that's not my point.
So.
No, my point is nobody who listens to country listens to Shaboozey or Beyonce and goes, well, this is really troubling for me because they're black. Most people don't actually give a shit what color people are that sing music. And now you have, because Beyonce and Shaboozey are being recognized in Woke 2025, now they have to make a racial issue out of the music. I'm sick and tired of everything being made into a racial issue. And it's done on purpose.
No, I don't like when it's overdone and drilled into our heads for no reason either. But I have to say, okay, remember that time I gave the example and I was like, I could see a black girl or black artist getting angry getting, whatever it is. If some white girl comes along,
they hated Eminem. They hated Eminem,
and then gets huge. I could understand. It's similarly with this. It's like, okay, Puppet's shaking his head. Pay respect and acknowledge where it's due. And especially in country music, I will say, and I actually learned this because of Beyonce's album, but all of the roots in country early on, the banjo, like all these different staples. And I actually didn't mind, like people were losing their mind, black, white, whatever, people were losing their minds over the Beyonce album. And I'm like, she's an artist, let her live. And I'm not even the biggest Beyonce fan, but
I don't have a problem with Beyonce making country music if she wants to make it.
Well, I respected that she actually did her due diligence in really implementing and utilizing all of these, the origins of black country. Again, banjo, all these things. Okay,
no, she wasn't.
Clip, Dave,
yeah,
with Willie. Okay, so when I
first wait, I got a lot to say about this topic.
Go ahead.
So first of all, are there black origins of country? Of course, because blues, which is black black country, but
you're
different,
puppet
right?
explaining me. You're puppet explaining me.
What?
You're puppet explaining me. I said that.
And gospel music is obviously black, but, well, not obviously, but also has black roots in Southern churches.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, they always forget, well, just because you guys did it too, doesn't mean there wasn't white people that were doing it too. And those white people were both British and Irish immigrants and Scottish and Irish settlers from the 18th and 19th centuries who all played folk, ballad, and fiddle tunes of their own. So you've got this white folk music, right, with these immigrants. You've got blues coming down with blacks and gospel, and all of this comes together to create these genres and these new types of music, and then we label those. Country came out of that. So, yeah, it was black people had influence, white people had influence, lots of influences. But then what she was talking about was the actual creation of the genre, the popularization of the hillbilly music, which was done by the Carter family, and it was from Tennessee, which is the birthplace of country music. It was 1927, and radio technology was becoming popular, and they started playing these songs, and that's where "quote unquote" the country genre was created.
Right, and you have Shabuzi going
because we were singing the blues back in the day. We could put a stamp on this.
Yes,
I mean, look.
I agree.
Okay, but don't you see a little bit? I mean, it's okay if you don't, but it's like we essentially had roots in it. White people, let's just call it what it is, made it popular, puppet, to your point. So it's like give credit where credit is due a little bit. Now, there's a way that you
white
can
people
do that.
and black people had their hand in creating it originally, and then white people were the ones that actually turned it into a popular genre. But so, I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't say black people had something to do with country music. I'm not saying that at all. But I don't think you can get on there and be like, well, you guys are culturally appropriating our music. That's not an accurate statement.
That's it, puppet. It's this. It's
so you think it's the like I see. You think it's the looking down from the high horse.
Yes, it's
because even like what was lost on people with Beyonce's album, right? Is it was like, oh, who does she think she is? Woke country. And you had so many iconic Dolly, Willie Nelson, like it goes on and on, who obviously were on the album giving it the stamp of approval. They made country also what it is, the queen and king, arguably, in some ways. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
And I'm not saying the album was, I didn't listen to the album, so I don't know. But I have a hard time believing that her influence in the universe, because of her money and Jay-Z's and all of the connections in Hollywood, all that, Diddy connections,
Diddy
happen. And the fact that there's wokeism everywhere is not the reason that album made country music album of the year. Come on, give me a break.
All right, I got a list for you.
Wait. Well,
Real
Dave.
Quick. Go ahead.
So I was going to say, check out, I have the clip for you when I interviewed Willie Jones, who was on Beyonce's album. And I feel like he helped me see this in a different light because it wasn't the Shabu. Wait till you see his approach and outlook.
I'm going to play that clip.
Because it wasn't like a, you'll see. You'll see.
No, I'm going to play that clip. Real quick, before we go to the clip, I just want to say something, though. Like, when you think of, if I ask you, can you name black country artists, well-known black country artists, most people, I think, would probably say Beyonce now, right?
No.
Most people would say Shabuzi now. And now.
Maybe.
They wouldn't say Charlie Pride. They wouldn't say DeFord Bailey, Linda Martell, Darius Rutger, of course, which was...
I would say he would be the only one people would say.
Right, but the idea was nobody talked about Darius Rucker being a black country singer.
No.
They said it's Hootie, and they love his songs, right? There's Kanye Brown.
They didn't make his album country album of the year.
Kanye.
Kane,
sorry. Dad reading.
I said Kanye. My brain was at Kanye for some reason.
Freudian slip.
But I can go on and on and on and tell you there's dozens of black country artists that before Shabuzi and Beyonce had national acclaim, and people really respected their music because it was good country music, not because it was sung by a black person. And now we're in 2025, and all of a sudden, wait a second, white people, Shabuzi and Beyonce have said They speaketh from upon high that now this is black music and white people stole it. But let's hear from this clip.
That's because Epstein and Barack's puppets and Jay-Z are all at play here.
Well, let's watch this clip. Well, I don't know. Let's just go to the clip.
Oh shit!
Are you have to
We
get
on
on
in 3
stage?
minutes. I'm on in 3.
Willie, as you're getting ready, it must feel good being a black man in country music holding it down, because as we know, it's like the old white man's game, right?
Man, it just feels good being a black man, period. Country music has its roots in black music, and to be a part of, just opening people's ears and minds up to different vibes, I am just so blessed and honored.
He just shed like a...
You
Don't you
know,
love that?
That
I
was a
love
great
that.
statement. That's how
love that.
everybody should be talking.
I love that. And he acknowledges, right? Like, the roots are with us. It stems from us, but like, let's spread the love. Just like me spreading the love of these at the Bitcoin conference. It's like, let's just acknowledge where they came from, and there's enough to go around everybody. You know what I mean? So I love that. And by the way, Puppet, Beyonce's country album, while it wasn't a repeat offender to, on my playlist, it was actually very, very good. It was slower, so I'm not like getting to it at the gym and what have you. But if you're listening, objectively, I actually really liked it. But anyways,
like I said, I didn't listen to it, so I wouldn't know. And I don't listen to country music, so I don't really have room to talk here.
He'll listen to puppet music.
I just can't imagine that it was actually the best country music album of the year.
Well, and that right there, Puppet, bing, is the point, because Beyonce did not make country album or artist of the year considering everybody else.
Right.
It was a great year for country. And they say Beyonce? Seriously?
That's just political.
It was political.
You guys haven't listened to it.
Still, I don't care.
I listened to it. I listened to it. You talk about appropriation. They called it Cowboy Carter, and they go in it and bring in all these country people and put, like you said, banjos and crap. It was they talk about if a white girl wears braids, she gets harassed outside of the freaking dollar store. Apparently, you've seen those videos on TikTok. You can't wear those braids, and she's like, "Why not?" Oh, that's cultural appropriation. But you can go put a bunch of damn banjos in a pop country album and win country artist of the year, and you can't say that's appropriation.
That's because black people invented the banjo. Don't you know that?
Oh, that's true. That's right.
Oh my
Anyway.
God.
They invented it. I mean, like you get to this place where you're in this rabbit hole where you could just be like, everybody invented everything. Like it's like, it's not. It's a melding. It's a melding. That's
correct.
What is so
collaboration.
screwed up
It's
right now.
America, Puppet.
Okay,
it's America.
Wait, you guys, but by that logic, wouldn't her, again, all of these legends and icons in country being on her album give it that stamp of approval that we're talking about? Like, don't you think they'd be like,
because they're
was?
high suckers. They're
is
high
called
suckers.
That is called commercialism.
Yes.
Right? They
And
all
ass
want to be.
kissing.
Beyonce
Ass
is a
kissing.
huge,
I don't think they
powerful
need it.
name.
Okay, but Dolly and Willie Nelson and all these
They are
people-
too.
Dolly's
They
not
are too.
political, and Willie's high.
Dolly has a damn amusement park.
Not only
Willie's
yes.
high?
Yes, but she's a smart
I'm saying
businesswoman and knows if
they
she
don't
can
need
connect herself to Beyonce, who's
Yep.
super powerful and is not going to have a flop,
Right.
she's gonna become more relevant and more modern.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
it. And everyone else was riding the coattails of Beyonce and Jay-Z's money and Diddy
White
party
parties.
tricks and Barack Obama's black influence or whatever you want to call it, blackfluence.
But what if, okay, last thing, and then we'll move on. The
Yeah,
people
I'm gonna
are
bring on
looking
Alpha
for,
in a
the
minute
people are
here.
looking for Alpha. The people have had enough of us.
Why? Everybody wants to get pregnant.
But I guess so. Jeez.
Wants to spread his seed. He's like Johnny Appleseed. The Alpha Appleseed.
Literally.
They want to bring him in to spread his seed. Hey, he'll help the birth rate problem.
Literally.
Yeah.
Anyways, what if it was actually, you guys are like, oh, she has, just because she's black got the obligatory vote and
She
win
did.
and blah blah blah. What if it was actually a really great country album?
But it wasn't.
She did due diligence. She had icons like Dolly who have better things to do. I think she's made a name for herself and become enough of an icon in her own right to go on Beyonce's.
Yeah,
stage.
she in country music and in general music is, in my opinion, miles and miles above Beyonce from an influence music perspective. Like, not even in the same ballpark. Dolly wins hands down.
Yeah, and Reba.
But, and I'm not even saying it's the black thing, honestly. I don't believe it's just the black thing. It's the political thing. It's the
Correct.
It's the influence thing. It's
Correct.
the politics of music. It's the politics of the corporate game. That's what that all is.
No,
And it's
I
not just
hear
black,
you.
but black
Before-
adds to it.
Before I strum you like a little banjo puppet, This is where, and he'll like it, I think.
Ding, 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 ding,
Just like that.
ding.
This is where conservatives, though, get a bad rap because it's like getting so worked up over it, like you guys are, versus being like, I get it. Like, give credit where credit's due, and move on with their day. Like instead, it's like you guys are so personally.
Because we're not taking the bullshit anymore,
I'm so
Taylor.
tired of the
We are
bullshit.
tired of the bullshit. Let's ask the chat. Chat, let me ask you.
Well,
Filter
this chat's
Dog,
mostly
Gambera,
conservative.
thank you so much for the gifts over there on Pilled. Let's ask the chat. What do you think? Do you think it was inappropriate for Shabuzi and Beyonce to politicize country music? Is it being politicized? Or are we just cranky conservatives making a big deal about it? Let us know in the chat. I will say this to end this, and let's move on. If Taylor Swift was on stage with Shabuzi, and Shabuzi said, black people have the origins of country music, and Taylor Swift went, psh, she would be canceled immediately and called a racist. That is my point. And let's move on. And I want to welcome.
How come no one ever talks about the Irish, and Scottish settler? Like, no one's going back.
Nobody cares about the
like,
Irish. Come
we
on.
got to make sure we credit them. Nobody ever says that.
The Irish. Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. All right.
They just, had a potato famine. Who cares?
Right. Cares.
We're all appropriating
All right, guys,
on St. Patrick's
get
Day.
your uteruses prepared. And because we have the impregnator in chief, Mr. Alpha Warrior, on the show now. Welcome, my friend, to he took our logo. Oh my
Alpha.
gosh. Alpha, you were a magician. Welcome to the show. Yes, Taylor.
I have a
You've been recognized to speak. Yes.
I was raising my hand before.
I didn't even finish introducing
couldn't
him.
even wait.
You
Couldn't
wanted to
even
jump
wait.
his bones
She was so
before
hot.
I introduced him. You're like, who said something about getting pregnant? I'm down.
It's
I'm
the
down.
enthusiasm. And
Right.
also, Alpha's just trying to get his
Jesus.
bicep up into my box so I can reach down. Go ahead, Alpha. You can do it again.
She's
there
hot
we
for
go.
Alpha.
I
Holy
think I touched it.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like a crab. Look at that arm. It's good to snap somebody.
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
happy to be here.
Welcome, Alpha. I jumped the gun on your intro merely because I need to ask, what makes you the impregnator in chief? Who decided this? Do we have the stats? Do we have the science?
That sounds like I wouldn't, as your lawyer, Alpha, I'm going to ask you not to answer that.
It was an assigned title. I'm actually the victim in this statement. That's where I want to go with that.
I agree.
I know you guys were trying to shift positions in that last conversation you had, but I was in the back in the green room, just like, I got something to say about that.
Well, jump on in. Go ahead. Give us your 2 cents.
Giddy up, Alpha.
If we rewind the clock a couple decades and go back to Eminem, the black community came after him hard.
Yeah.
For that, they it was Public Enemy came out and said he wouldn't have sold that many albums if he was black. You had Lord Jamar that came out and said he's a guest to the rap industry. So you've always had this segment of people that always wanted to make it about race, to either overcredit someone or undercredit someone on the quality of their music. At the end of the day, it's just like, listen, I'm going to play something, and if it sounds good, I don't care what color you are. But it's just, people always want to make it about race. Other than that, I love the conversation.
That is my issue with it, Alpha. It's not that I don't care. And Gambera said this over in Pilled. I don't care what color the artist is. I don't care. But the problem is you can't watch a film anymore. You can't watch a baseball game or a football game or a basketball game. You can't listen to country music. You literally don't know the color of the person coming out of your speaker. Yet they want to make sure, and when I say they, I mean the woke left, wants to make sure that everything focuses on race because they have to stick to this narrative that this is a racist country and everybody's disadvantaged. The reality is this country doesn't want to deal, and I know what the argument is going to be. Well, we have to keep race first and at the front and center of everything.
Spit it out there, Dave.
I know. I'm sorry. I can't spit it out.
That's all, folks.
Anyway.
Producer Rob is hitting it in the comments. This is basically what I was trying to say.
I know. If he was on the show, I'd be arguing with him all night.
You'd be going at it. White people making it about race. That's what you two guys are doing right now.
No, we're not.
No, we have not.
You kind of
We didn't go.
are. That's why I was like, why are you guys so mad? Here's what
I am
Eminem.
not.
Here's what Eminem
I'm
did
mad.
so brilliantly. And by the way, did you guys see Jelly Roll just recently bring him out in Detroit in his hometown at Jelly Roll's stadium? He brought Eminem out doing
Who's
off
Jelly
the crowd.
Roll?
He's a big
Oh, Christ.
singing guy.
Alpha,
Was
I
that
apologize.
Is that the
on behalf of
feminine
the
one
trad
with
dad.
the tattoos that everybody's been making fun of on X, who was doing like the girl dances? Or that Machine Gun Kelly?
So.
Is Machine Gun Kelly?
You know what? Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
let
Machine
that
Gun
sit
kind
there.
of looks like Justin Bieber with tattoos, or not because Justin Bieber has a shit ton of tattoos, but old Justin
He
Bieber.
looks like a girl Justin Bieber. Yes.
But Alpha, I'm sure you can agree with this, right?
That used to
Something
be-
that made Eminem so, I mean, he's so iconic is that he didn't then and he doesn't now. I respect him so much for this. He does not give a shit and he owns it. Like, even in his music, you guys act like you've never seen a white person before. You know what I mean? Even now, when cancel culture was at its peak, he's basically like, you all can kick rocks. And he would say really politically incorrect shit. So he completely, wore it and owned it and was basically like, F all you guys. I don't know how he felt behind the scenes, but I don't know. That's why he's such a goat, is like, he just was like, take it or leave it.
Before politics contaminated the music industry, Eminem completely exploited the fact that he was an anomaly, and he was great at it. He was fantastic about it. Toy Soldiers was him talking trash on people coming out against him, and you know what? It was good. And I think, to the point you guys are trying to make, is if they didn't do the
exactly,
like, we would be good. But it's the current state of culture that this is already at the surface. I mean, you have Disney movies where Ariel the Little Mermaid got darker tan for the movie.
We talked about that last
Well, that's
week.
when it's like forced, or Snow White is brown.
Exactly.
Snow woke.
And there's some things where it's just like, listen, let it be what it was.
Right.
And if you want to create something new, create something new.
Yeah, and understand
it would
that
be like, it would be doing like a Mexican novella, and it was just white people and black people and no Mexicans. It'd be like, what?
Alpha, are you Latino?
Part, yes.
I've been meaning to ask you this since I met you, and so got to ask it on Politically Uncensored, obviously. Okay, so you're
She
part.
wants to know
so
what the
what?
future generation's going to look like, Alpha. She's
I'm
trying
to picture
the
my
baby.
offspring. So okay, so what are you Mexican?
Dad's Mexican, mom's Spaniard.
Okay, so is there something that was grifted off of those cultures that you would be like, okay, guy, again, like, give a little credit where credit's due. I don't need a trophy. I don't need a cookie. I don't need to put on my fridge, but like, come on, white bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there anything that you'd be like, all right,
Taco
come on,
Tuesday,
Alpha.
man. Taco fucking Tuesday. Listen.
That's right.
Hey,
Chimichangas. Come on.
listen, you're reducing it down to a day. Like, this was a cultural food that you survived on. And now it's Taco Tuesday. And then it didn't even get to be Taco Tuesday that long because it got took over by Titty Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Titty Tuesday took over Taco Tuesday. And two, I would say that if you have an entire day every single week dedicated to your food group, then you have hit the big time, bro.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
just saying.
we don't have matzah Mondays.
yeah,
need
we don't have matzah
we
Monday
need matzah
or-
Mondays. Like, where's my people's representation?
And now that Taylor's got me thinking about it, like salsas, just
Like-
Yeah. Well, you want to talk about J-Lo?
Sure. Why don't we talk about another really
Latino
popular?
with a big ass.
I just want to go back one more step on the Beyonce thing because we've had so many
all right.
Beyonce related comments since I
we
made
need
my
to get off
comments.
Beyonce, but go ahead.
There's like a conspiracy thing about Beyonce. Like, if you don't thank Beyonce on stage, you get killed.
Mm-hmm.
That took a turn.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's a whole thing. Like, every music artist has to get up there and thank Beyonce, or they're gonna get Clintoned. And
I was just gonna say, I think you meant to say, if you
and
piss
it's
off
a whole
the
thing.
Clintons.
It's a whole thing, and you have to say, okay, I'm not saying that that's real, but what I'm saying is, if it exists, that means there's a reason behind it, and the reason behind it is because there's a political influence thing at play in the music industry related to these people, and that has that influence, which is connected to politics and corporatism, affects the decisions that are made by stupid bodies of influence who reign over the realities of shit and say, well, they're the Gestapo of decision making. And they say, okay, we're gonna get together and we're gonna give it to Beyonce because Beyonce is blah blah blah, whatever. And it ain't talent. She may be talented. I'm not saying she's not talented.
She's talented,
but
she's just a country artist of the year. Anyhow, let's talk about J-Lo. Speaking of talent, here's the video.
The color of my underwear. You wanna know what I got going on down there?
At what point?
Wow.
I mean, look, she looks great for 55.
Oh,
don't get me wrong.
Hells yes.
But at what point does it just become creepy and weird for an old lady to be shaking her coochie on the stage and then going and making out with all her dancers?
Don Lemon, is that you? Oh my!
By the way, Don Lemon would never say that. So
uncanny.
Completely on the wrong side of that comment.
Let's go to our guest, Alpha. What say you?
You know, when you look like her, there's no age limit.
Thank you. What he said. That part.
You know, listen.
That part.
She's like fine wine. She's just getting better with age for you.
I mean, listen, if it's Madonna, Madonna doesn't look like she did 10 years ago, 30, 40 years ago. All right.
Like a
and, you know, she's a badass.
She looks like one of those mitts from that movie she was in, League of Their Own.
Yeah. The cones have melted. You know, it's where we're at. But J-Lo, I mean, she still looks fine as hell. Like, I'll put some babies in her.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, babies, plural. That's an old lady too. Can I set the record straight here? First of all, if I'm looking like that at J-Lo's age, you bet your ass it's going down. But also, I see chicks my age around Broadway in Nashville with their ass, this, that, the other thing. Hey, I'm not going to throw them under the bus. Let's just say that J-Lo at her age is putting these young, fresh out of college chicks to shame. So, old lady, my Bitcoin Barbie ass, David.
Okay, I got a few things to say about this again.
No way.
Oh, here it
so
comes.
No way.
First of
what
all,
happened to the funny little quips? All of a sudden, it's like the Puppet Carlson show.
Yeah,
go ahead, Puppet. Tell us, what are you thinking?
This motorboat.
What's grinding your gears?
What they want.
I think she's good looking. Like, she's hotter than shit for 55. I mean, dang. That's pretty good genetics and all the adrenochrome or whatever else she's using. Yeah. She's drinking baby's blood and
taking shots of it,
biting heads off of bats like Ozzy did.
Pizzagate,
whatever, all of that.
Alpha's gonna do a whole show on Pizzagate.
So and she can dance really good. And
excuse me, doing this.
Well,
not dancing.
Hang on. Wait a second. Who the fuck died?
A crappy stripper
and made
because she kept her clothes on.
Who the fuck?
No, I'm saying
screener died and made you two the arbiters of the most iconic performers of our time.
She's a good dancer. I've seen her dance. She's a good dancer. I don't particularly like that dancing.
Shake your little puppet ass. A quarter of the amount of that.
No, I'm saying she's a good dancer. That's why I started this conversation.
That's not dance.
She's a good dancer. I didn't love what she was doing on that stage. I don't think that matches her talent level in terms of dance. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. It's about, at some point, you got to say to you, like, who am I as a person at 55 and a mother and this and that? And I'm going to get up there. She's not really as relevant as she once was, where she was like really super relevant with young people. It really feels like at this point to me, and this is just my perspective on it, having grown up with J-Lo, Jenny from the Block, and all of that now as a older man, with watching her as an older woman, still hot, still got good dance moves. But I'm like, do you really still have to do it that way? I mean, do you want to do it that way? I mean, that's just so weird. And you're not relevant as much anymore with younger people. So you just look like, try hard.
Yeah. Do you guys want these women? I think it's so inspiring that women are looking more fire, more flames than ever. Do you want them to shrivel up in a geriatric?
No, I think they look like blowfish with all the.
Let's get Alpha's take.
Jesus,
alpha male.
Alpha, what do you say?
Alpha is the alpha male personified of the internet. Alpha, let me let you on a little something, okay? Stay with me with this.
I thought you were going to ask him a question. Now you're telling him this question.
I'm going to.
All right.
Last week on the show, David defended the Sports Illustrated queer Chinese I don't even know, woman on the cover for being extra curvy when everyone else like Ben Shapiro.
I didn't have an issue with a curvy woman.
Okay, so 55 is shriveled up but curvy.
No,
I
don't know what I said.
I don't think you're listening, actually watching this show that's going on.
I don't think she is either.
I've said
She's
multiple
getting
times, and
pregnant.
David did too. This woman is beautiful. She is injected with some fillers and whatnot, but hey, she's still actually prettier than most who have been injected with fillers. So I'm giving her all that credit. I'm just saying, as a woman who reaches that age and that pinnacle level of success, when your relevance is less relevant than you used to be with a younger crowd, that doing that almost seems like a screaming for attention,
right?
And just beneath her at this point. That's what I'm saying.
She's like a widow in a nursing home whose husband died 10 years ago, and she's looking for one last shag before she kicks the bucket. Right, Alpha?
Yeah.
Don't write Alpha.
She doesn't have to do that.
Alpha, do not be coerced by them. Alpha,
what do you got to say?
This is what I say.
Other than she's hot, we got that.
It's situational.
You can't impregnate her, by the way, because she's probably postmenopausal.
When it comes to J-Lo, if she can still pull it off, then pull it off.
Okay. I mean, if she wants to,
now,
fine.
granted,
I don't like it.
For the younger crowd, that's probably not her target audience. But there's probably a substantial part of her audience that's just like, damn, it's just like when you're just like, man.
Then who's her target audience?
Guns N' Roses was still around. I'd go to one of their concerts, or you still want to go to a U2 concert. Well, there's still people that are like, I want to see Jenny from the Block get down, and she's creating that moment for people. And she, listen, she's not at 100% where she was, but she still's got the ability to pull it off.
do you guys want to hear something funny? I wrote an op-ed for VH1, like when I was fresh out of college, and it was when everyone started getting fake asses, the BBL epidemic, and I wrote an op-ed. This is journalism at its peak, y'all. I don't know. I'm dusting my Pulitzer, and it was defending J-Lo. I was like, let's not forget. Actually, speaking of giving credit to where credit is due, that J-Lo had the first original, biggest, best ass.
She did.
Puppets on
Yeah,
that,
no,
Still
her
does.
ass is like Dolly Parton's boobs. It's something we talked about as kids. I get it. Listen, I want
David.
Yeah,
from In Living Color to still being up on the stage as the main actor today. I mean, that's.
I agree.
Let me say this. And then I'm going to move on because we've spent a lot of time on J-Lo's ass, which is never really a problem. The issue is for me is that, yes, she's talented. Yes, she's very attractive for a 55-year-old woman. Yes, she has moves. Paula Abdul, by the way, is like 65, and she was like all dancing all crazy. But the thing is, and I respect the fact that she's in great shape. She looks great. She can still dance. She's putting on shows. My issue, and I'll get your last word on this. I'll give you the last word on this, Alpha, and then I want to move on because I want to talk about a couple things, and we'll get to that in a second. But my final thought on this is this. She's an attractive woman who's had a very successful career. But to Puppet's point, she's sitting there shaking her freaking crotch at these awards, making out with like 7 people 20 years younger than her, 25. It's just a bad image. And I have daughters. And what I don't need any more of is my children thinking that is because you saw it at the music awards. You had, all of them, like all of the performers were all like way hypersexual. None of it was musical based. It was all like, how close to actually having sex on the stage can we do with a music track playing in the background? And then J-Lo's just in that. It's unnecessary. Everything doesn't need to be, oh, look how much I can push sex in your face. And if they really care about women and the health of women and children and all these people, there's a place for sex, and a 55-year-old woman doesn't need to be gyrating in front of a freaking camera and making out with random people. That's my opinion on that.
That's
Alpha,
definitely a trad dad opinion. I'll give you that.
I would agree. Don't bring your kids then to go see her.
But I would say I think there's, and we're gonna let Alpha comment on the end.
Last word,
I'm gonna say something before I give him the end. I don't. If you let your kids or my kids watch it, which I really wouldn't let my kids watch it, but if I did, my daughter could watch it. She's old enough. she's not gonna look at Jenny even from the block like that and go, yeah, that's what I want to see. So who is the target market for that? If the target market is us, the people who grew up with her, I don't think most of us want to see her doing that either. I think we'd want to see her body and see her dance, but I don't think that's the kind of style that are the people that grew up with her, who are probably her target audience, want that either. So Alpha, what do you say about that?
Alpha, give us some alpha
audience.
wisdom. Alpha, give us some wisdom. What can break through this weird, you see this weird divide playing out? How women should be, men should be, and you're the alpha male. So what'll it be?
I'll say that there's about 75% of the male audience between the age of 28 to 65 that we're thinking, how do I become a background dancer?
Well, man, I'm sure there's applications now.
If that's what's going to get me on the stage to get to do that with J-Lo. And you know what? I'll give you that one, David. You know, the making out with everybody that's on there, a little nasty, because it's like, what did practice look like? Like, how many people in total did you have to make out with?
Right.
Or, was it just, hey, we're just going to, just make out on the final cut? I don't know. That's a.
And what if you didn't want to make out with her, Al? Think about this, Alpha. If you're a backup dancer and JLo's like, I'm going to make out with you.
Pre-rehearsed it. She didn't ditty them.
No, but listen. But think about that. That's actually an excellent point Alpha just made. Think about this. If you're one of the backup dancers, do you think they had a choice in whether or not they were the ones selected to kiss her? I mean, these are employees, right? You hire them to backup dance. Yeah.
I think number one had the choice. But for dancer 2, 3, 4, and 5 that went down the list, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I agree with you, Alpha. And
because you're getting the saliva of dancer 1 and every other dancer that was in front of you. And it's kind of
And I bet you
it's like being at the German
lady.
restaurant and drinking one of those big beer steins and passing it around.
Yeah,
you want to be the first guy, not the last guy.
But I bet you JLo has that old lady coffee breath too.
What is with the old lady?
Like the librarians who used to get in your face and tell you how to read when you're like, damn lady, brush your teeth.
If you're the last guy to bang that OnlyFans star that bangs like 1,000 persons at a time.
This guy's like RBG resurrected from the grave. Okay,
J-Lo's
Alpha.
breath probably has a scent, but I don't
think it's old lady corpse.
No, it's old teeth and coffee. I'm sure of it.
No, Alpha. Jay-Z's cock.
Alpha. I'm going to turn it back over to you because you're our special guest here. And there's a couple of things. There's 2 things I want to talk about with you while we still have you, because we're probably going to keep it to the end of the show because now it's 10 minutes left in the show. And if you have the time, I know you have a show coming up right after this. So I want to make sure we talk about what you're going to talk about on your show, because it's a very interesting topic tonight, and it's a live show as well, so our viewers can go over and check out Alpha and engage in his comments. I know I'll be there as well. But before we get to that, there's 2 things that I want to talk to you about, right? I do want to talk about the show, so I'm saving time at the end, just so you know, because I want to know about all your shows, everything you're doing, and what you're talking about tonight. So save 5 minutes for me to give Alpha our undivided attention to tell us about how great he is. But before we get to that, there's something that we absolutely have to talk about, and I want to get your take on it, Alpha. I mean, there's so much. Gosh, there's so much. Here's what I was going to talk about tonight. All the things. I wanted to talk about the new COVID fear mongering campaign. I wanted to talk about that pardon of that. What? Puppet, remember
the Grizzlies?
Yes, but we're not going to have time for any of that because I want to talk about I want to get your take, Alpha, on the...
I'm in suspense right now.
Yeah, me too.
On the slap heard around the world. Check it out. Alpha warrior, being an alpha male, being the alpha male. And again, I put this above COVID fear mongering, above of reality star pardons, all of that, because I wanted the alpha male's take on what it's like to not only have an ugly ass wife, but having an ugly ass wife that punches you in the face in front of the press. What do you say?
There was only 2 ways he could have recovered from that. And he failed. The first one was to snatch her from the soul and throw her down the stairs, But then he would have gotten, well, he put his hands on a woman, but that would have surfaced the argument. Said, is she really a woman? That's a whole nother show. So he could have did that. The other one that wouldn't have resulted in violence, but he would have kept his man card, is he could have got that little Asian flight attendant right there and just swooped her up and just started making out with her like J-Lo did to everybody else.
Now
he would have did that, and when the people said, well, "What the heck happened?" He would have said, "In that moment, she fucked up."
Yeah,
and I moved on. And people would say, "Damn, he's you know what? He laid it down. He handled it like a gentleman." Displayed his man card, so all the nation states that were watching were just like, "Hey, that guy can ad lib. Like he made it happen." But
if he was Italian, she'd be disappeared.
Why is nobody acknowledging that he was straight bitch slapped by a man, baby?
By a man, baby.
Oh, I said it.
I just learned that yesterday for the first time. I didn't know that conspiracy.
No.
Oh, Alpha,
No.
we're gonna take it offline. We're gonna because if there's one conspiracy, if my tinfoil titties are coming out for something, you bet your ass.
Look, she's the Michelle Obama of France.
You know what? Turn up the tinfoil, baby.
That's right.
And
I'll
now
fill you in offline.
I'll be filling in too.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna fill it in.
Have you
There's
guys
the
seen
puppet I know and love.
there it is. There to let it out, puppet. Have you guys seen the swimsuit photos coming out from him and his wife, husband, uncle, dad? I don't even know how to address that.
It's just something is happening, but no, I didn't. I saw that the statement after was they were decompressing, right?
I can't look. I can't look.
Violent decompressing.
That was not decompressing. He got his ass whooped on national television.
Oh yeah. He
You know
that with a
big
baguette.
Slapped. Well, Alpha, let me wait. What's Filter Dog saying? It has tinfoil titties. Filter Dog, you're just learning this now. Where have you been? All of
It's
our
like a
lives?
tinfoil hat for a chest.
Exactly.
That men aren't allowed to look at.
Let me take it. Be kind, rewind, as Trad Dad Dave likes to say, and also kind of take it big picture because Alpha, we have deemed you, I guess, the impregnator of the entire world and human species, but also the arbiter of what makes men and women. So again, when you look at all of this big picture, forget the Macron stuff and all that kookiness, but even like we're talking about the J-Lo, this and that, right? And we seem to have like this kooky thing of how both men and women, particularly celebrities, politicians, doesn't matter, how they should be as they age, as they get older. What are your thoughts on that? Is it sort of like is there a sort of standard of what makes a man, what makes a woman? Maybe with age, it looks a type of way. Like, where do you kind of land big picture on all of it?
True freedom is when you stop giving a fuck about what everybody thinks.
Ooh. Welcome to Politically Uncensored's new tagline.
Live free.
Live free.
Wait,
my tattoo. Do you not see it, guys?
No, I thought you were trying to get some beads. You want some beads? Like
it's right
I know.
Here.
You got to lift it up more in the front. It's got to go more in the front.
No, just angle it this way. My live free tattoo.
I can't see the tinfoil. Where's the tinfoil?
That got me so much I forgot to move the mouth of the puppet.
Individually, that's what my stance would be. Culturally, I would be, do we want a template society? There's a spectrum, and if you fall somewhere on that spectrum, you're gonna make some people happy, you're gonna make some people pissed off, and if you're just living a life that's to concede to the opinion that's public, I mean, a lot of us would probably have a bioweapon in our body right now.
That's right.
There's a reason we go against the grain.
Let's bring it full circle. When I hopped on here, the guys were asking if what's that?
I like full circles.
Don't we all, right? We love to come around.
I like them a little more ovally. I like
we all love to come around, that's for sure.
Puppet caught that. So in the beginning of the show, I'm at Bitcoin conference, and the guys were asking me, your boobs out, Barbie, and the guys are looking, does that bother you? Da 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 da. And I'm like, no, it's fine. I like to make them happy. I like to make them smile. It's all good. What's the hottest thing a woman can do? Like a staple, tried and true for you, Alpha. Like, what is the hottest, sexiest thing about a woman, regardless of politics?
Actions or like characteristics?
It's choose your own adventure.
Absolute loyalty.
Ooh.
That's good.
And
you could see that going on with Marcone and his girl. That's that absolute loyalty there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she Macroned him for sure. You remember that part in what was the movie? Deuce Bigelow, where he dates
Male gigolo.
all the weird women, and there's the one weird woman with the giant hands.
Yeah.
And she's got her
It's like
big
that
hands all over his
Seinfeld
face.
Yeah.
And that is and Seinfeld, there's an episode about the chick with the man hands.
Yeah.
That's his wife.
Yeah,
God,
and here's the reason, because I know there are some guys that are like, Alpha, come on, listen. Let's just say, and how what rating are we? Are we like PG-13?
Dude,
No,
you're
this is
uncensored.
Triple
This
X.
is rated whatever the hell you want it to be.
Listen, as a dude, you
Uncensored,
could be like,
babe.
You could be like, my girlfriend, fiance, wife gives the best head in the world, and then all the dudes are clapping like, yeah, right? But then you got to take a business trip where you're going to be gone for a week. And guess what you're thinking about? She gives the best head in the world. And now that shit's in your head. But when you have a woman that's just absolute loyalty to where you're out there and you're concentrating on I see what Chad just put. I should have known better. But listen, when you have an absolute loyal one and you're gone on that trip, you're focused on your mission because there's no distraction behind you. And so when you finally get on the plane to get back, all you're thinking about is how you're going to tear that apart because she was loyal to you.
That's
You
it.
ready for me to blow all your brains and those little puppet balls? What
Speaking
about
of
a
blowing.
woman who's both?
What?
Who's both?
Hot
what?
and loyal?
The best blowjobs and loyal.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
God, do I have to show you guys everything?
Well, this is 2025. Both means a lot of things now.
It's fair.
I can't stand up now.
Yeah. Oh. That's a big black mic you have right there.
Yeah, you haven't brought out your BBC in a minute, Dave.
My big black clock is right here, and it's telling me it's 22:58, which means, Alpha, I need to know more about what you got going on right after this show and where people can find you and all the great things about Alpha Warrior, because you're everywhere. Tell the audience who's so excited to be impregnated by you next where they can get the opportunity.
100%. Can I ask Puppet a question before I go into that? All right.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Absolutely. Hey, Dave, you don't have to answer for me. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Gonna rewind us a few minutes here.
Okay.
Puppet, it's 1:59 a.m. It's last call at the bar.
Yeah.
And J-Lo from the concert tonight is right there next to you, and she looks at you and she's like, "You want to go home with me?" What's your answer?
That is not a difficult answer. I would be like, if you can pick me up, because I can't walk. But yeah, I'd be down for that. I don't care what you did on stage.
All right, you're all right. You're a hero for me once again, Puppet. Where you guys can find me, you can go to Rumble. You can search out the Alpha Warrior Show. If you're on X, you can just look up X Alpha Warrior X. The show that I got coming up is just going to be more gay in the perspective of relocating, because I'll be talking about cognitive warfare. I'll be talking about how social media platforms have used professionals, neuroscientists, casino engineers to perfect the dopamine hits to get us to respond and not want to put down our phones and then just keep us on that endless timeline scroll so we keep propagandizing ourselves.
Wow. Well,
that
guys,
is true.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the chat over on Alpha Show. I'm giving him a hard time. I'm sure Chad will be there calling him gay. And so I encourage.
Chad, can I get my man card back from Chad?
You take that up with Chad.
So Chad, listen, you're
have
watching.
You seen that man's hands? It's not easy to take things from him.
Chad, you see where I'm at on the screen. So when I get to do this, I just saw something you don't get to see, Chad.
Oh.
Boom, booyah.
Wow.
You know what?
Alpha's like, end with that.
Yeah, that's a good. Now, I have a clip that I always end the show with, like an insane clip for blind reaction. Now I have one. Alpha, I know you have a show at 11. Do you have to run or do you have 2 minutes?
No, listen, I could bite. It's my show, man.
All right.
I'll make them wait.
I don't now. I ripped this and it wasn't formatted properly, so hopefully it comes out okay. But the question of the day is, what the hell is this?
White party, dude.
Oh, this is an easy one. I was stressed out. I was like, he's gonna hit me with a hard one. No, simple.
Somebody got hit with a hard one.
Somebody from the audience threw a candy on stage. The first artist hit him in the throat. So then everybody started doing the Heimlich maneuver, and then when it came out of one person, it landed. So everybody's doing the Heimlich.
I saw Heimlich where she booty dropped on his balls.
This was life-saving measures at its finest, caught on tape.
I don't know.
I thought this was just Alpha doing his work of impregnating the people.
That's what it was, Taylor. It was a live action rendition of Alpha impregnating the world.
How do you like me now, Chad? How do you like me now, Chad?
Yes. All right, that's a great way to end the show. Alpha, thank you so much.
I think that deserves country music album of the year.
Yeah, you know. Listen, it wasn't fair that I just do that this way. Hold on. No, this. Oh, here we go.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Is Alpha jerking off puppet?
No, I don't think.
There it is.
What are you? You put your hand up.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, he's in your manhole.
Wow.
He's got me.
He's got me in your manhole.
I'm gonna have triplets next episode.
We just put J-Lo's backup dancers to shame.
Yeah,
that's like
he was tickling my testrum.
I'm gonna start drinking.
Much more fitted than expected.
That's right. I got a nice tight little manhole.
Okay, my turn. Oh, just kidding. We gotta go, I guess.
Alpha,
give me back my watch, puppet.
It is now. He'll have to keister it for 50 years until he dies of dysentery, so he can give the watch to his grandchild.
That's it.
Alpha, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys, make sure you go check out the Alpha Warrior Show coming up on his Rumble channel, the Badlands Rumble channel, right after this. Alpha, thanks for being here. You better come back soon.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks for having me.
Or else we're going to recreate that little number we just watched.
Taylor's
Alpha.
already
and
going to
remember,
recreate it.
Free your mind.
Wait, I'm not ending the show. I'm saying goodbye to Alpha. No, I'm saying goodbye to
Okay.
Alpha.
It's like I'm out of this.
It's 11:03. Well, I know, but I have to say goodbye to the guests before we say goodbye to the audience.
Fine, okay.
Good night,
Bye,
Alpha.
Alpha. See ya.
Good night, you guys.
Get out of here. You stinky rat.
Now is when I say, now when it's all of us again, we say thank you. Yes.
Got it. But you're always rushing the show, so I figured you wanted to go.
Well, like that dance. Here's the deal. I don't know what Chad is saying. What's this Chad saying here?
Chad's saying that party was a regular
Guys,
Saturday
can
night.
I just say, of all the shows that I did not have a little whiskey,
This is the one you needed one.
it'd be like that.
Well, we're uncensored, baby. All right, this is all the time we have. Pilled, Gambera, Matt 1776, Filter Dog, Maven, To Wild Irish Rose, everybody over there, all of our great friends on Pilled.net. If you're not on Pilled.net,
love you guys on Pilled.
Get over to Pilled.net. And to all of our friends in the chat, Heather, Rob, Chad, Jim Bob, our favorite super fan. I think we saw Christy here. Who else has been in here?
Matt 76.
Yeah, we've had a great chat today. Guys, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being the best part of our show. Don't forget, we do it here every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Bring a friend next time. We're going to continue to have the fun. And Puppet, now...
Can we get a motorboat on the way out, Puppet?
Yeah. Free your mouth, and your mind will follow. I'm going to free mine right now.
Boy.
It gets me every time. Every time.
All right, guys. Well, good night, Taylor. Have fun at the Bitcoin Fest. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bitcoin bros.
See you next Tuesday.